And good morning and welcome to the VSA Capital 5-Minute Morning Miner on Friday, the 14th of November. It's Friday. We've got to the end of the week. Morning, Paul.
Good morning to you. Good morning. A soggy day out there today.
It's a soggy day, and our government has done a U-turn on a U-turn on a U-turn on a U-turn, I think, on tax increases. Now, they're not going up, and no one has a clue what they're doing. Well, no, actually, most people know what should be happening. The government doesn't have a clue. But don't get onto a political rant. Oh, it annoys me, though. Actually, the big thing that's really caught my eye this morning, Paul, is Rio are pulling out of the Jadar Serbian lithium mine, which I find fascinating because, you know, that is a huge potential lithium resource. And clearly Rio have taken the view that they don't think they need it anymore. What's your take on it?
Yes, I think that might be the case. Is the issues around it is a new style of deposit too geologically, so that means that its configuration and metallurgy, as well as being an underground mine for lithium and borates in this case, would suggest that it's potentially both too risky from a development standpoint. Plus, it doesn't have the best relationship with the Serbian government either, or the NGOs in that part of the world for development of that project. So I think they're going with the safer option of their Latin American initiatives to source their own supply of lithium.
But I think it's quite a message for some of the very small lithium producers that, you know, it all sounds great, but it's actually very tough to become a serious, economically profitable lithium producer. You need a vast, vast resource, and a good grade and in the right location. Would that be fair to say, Paul?
Yes, that's right. You do have to be more selective. It's not just a question of going and digging it up out of the ground, I'm afraid.
Anyway, most listeners can probably work out what I'm angling at there, but I won't go any further. Right, Metals X, or Metals Exploration to give its full name, Paul. They put out a little bit of a trading update because Super Typhoon Uwan has caused them a few issues, and they've had to just downgrade production a bit, haven't they?
Yes, they have. It has caused some facilities damage, both at plant site but also in the local community. And the main damage it's caused has brought down the power lines, the grid power to supply the plant. So that is yet under repair, and they expect that will have to take some days yet. They also had some damage to one of the access bridges to the site, so that will also have to be repaired or replaced in due course. The actual impact on their production, though, only about 5 to 10% in the profit warning statement. So a reduction down to something less than 70,000 ounces for the year is what they're talking about now at this point.
Yeah. Now, another one that just sort of caught my eye this morning, just because it's sort of a really good sign, I think, that we are in a commodities bull market, and we will be for quite a few more years, is the little AIM quoted Cameroon gold explorer Oriole Resources. Nothing to do with Oriole, the college, because it's got an E on the end. But they've actually gone and raised 1.8 million, which is pretty damn good for them. And I noticed that RAB are one of the big people in the placing. The RAB are back again. Here's a sign we're back in the bull market. It's great. Any comment on that, Paul?
Yes, that's right. They also announced a wrap retail offer too, to add another 200,000 sterling to that offer to bring it to a total of 2 million
Yeah, and more.
overall. And it's priced at 0.24 pence per share. So they do have a specific discovery there called Embe on the Embe property in Cameroon that is indicating now that it may well be a commercial size discovery. So they definitely want to keep the momentum going on their exploration, hence the fundraise.
Yeah, talking of being back in a bull market, Goldplat, which has always struggled along a little bit, but it's one that we know very well. I've visited their site quite a few times in Johannesburg. They also obviously have others further up in Africa, in Ghana. But obviously the high gold prices meant that this morning on their Q1 results, they've actually had quite a decent profit, haven't they, Paul?
Yes, that's right. Pushed into operating profit there of just over 2 million sterling, which is rather interesting to see. As you say, it is due to the big change in the gold price overall. And they have actually declared a dividend also of 0.117 pence per share to be paid in the middle of December. South African operations were also profitable at 1.25 million sterling, whereas Ghanaian operations had profit pre-tax at 1.125 million sterling. So, yes, the gold price definitely helping Goldplat look better on the balance sheet.
Yeah. Anything else you've got to add, Paul?
Yes, I did want to mention too this statement which came out from Minres that came out on Wednesday. Minres being one of the big lithium producers, they had actually done a deal to sell a 30% stake of two of their operating mines in Australia, spodumene mines, to POSCO for $765 million. So it creates a 50-50 joint venture between the two companies on the Wodgina and Mount Marion mines, and gives POSCO a indirect 15% interest in each project as well. So wheeling and dealing going on in the mining space for sure.
Yeah, and again, I mean, these are huge lithium mine. This is a huge lithium project, isn't it, Paul?
Yes, that's right.
So again, its lithium is really all about size. Um, that's the message, I think. Also, maybe finally, it's Friday. I know all week I've been ranting and raving about mainly Tamar Minerals and the lack of liquidity in the market making system. I noticed actually towards the end of the week, there was a lot more trade going in it. My ranting and raving is obviously getting success. People are looking at it. People are coming in and buying it, which means the sellers can get out. We're starting to see quite a few ticks go through. It's still a relatively small size. Um, but again, just my issue is I think the stock's cheap. Once the sellers have all gone up and away, in my view. Totally biased. I'm a holder. VSA Capital acts for them. So we are totally biased, but I think it's only a matter of time. It'll follow the path of strategic minerals. I promise you, next week, I'm not going to talk about it, but I can promise that because next week I'm actually in Dubai. I'll be back on Monday, but then I'm in Dubai at the air show. All right. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Very good. See you.
This podcast has been produced and edited by VSA Capital. It is intended for information purposes and not as investment advice. The information is intended for recipients who understand the risks associated with equity investments in smaller companies. Please do your own research and do not rely on a single source when making an investment decision. VSA Capital may derive fees from this content and seeks to do business with the companies mentioned.